Hey everyone, Fire here, and today we're going to be talking about experience. Short video today, but there is a lot to cover. So to begin with, I have decided to embark on a project to begin tabulating and quantifying all of the different sources of experience in Path of Exile. Most of us fall into three categories. We either don't care about getting to level 100, we're happy to get level 100 through 5 ways, or we just get level 100 by making really tanky characters and running non-dangerous content. However, there are a lot of people out there, even those that fell into the first three categories, that would still like to have alternative methods of leveling up and would like to have more information concerning the different sources of EXP in the game. This information is not readily available. I've spent pretty much the entire day researching this topic and trying to find what little I can, and there is nothing out there. To make matters worse, I had to start doing my own testing when I found that the wiki is out of date in multiple different ways, and all of the EXP calculators online are basically bogus and do not work, or have information that has not been updated in years. So in today's video, I'm only really going to talk about the Shadow-Nerf that I discovered by accident, and I'm going to cover a little bit about why the Wikipedia is outdated and why you probably shouldn't use it for the time being. Tomorrow, I'm going to share the first fully functioning EXP calculator that the community's had in years. I don't believe there has been a fully functioning and updated one in the entire time that I've been playing the game, and the few that I have found just don't calculate enough information correctly enough in order to be considered a real calculator. The third and final video on this topic is going to cover the publication of my data and perhaps any conclusions that we can draw from it, such as new ways to level up or cheap alternatives to 5 ways. Today, I woke up and had the very woeful idea of trying to make an EXP calculator for Path of Exile before work. It didn't go as planned. After several hours of testing, I was finding that the in-game values were only sometimes matching the calculator and other times they were not. I had to enlist the help of many friends and a couple of other content creators, thanks Palstron, and eventually I came to the conclusion that for some reason level 95 plus characters were not giving me the correct values. Of course, at this point, it had been a bunch of hours, and I decided to call in sick to work because there was no way I was going to be able to focus on my work while this was just gnawing at me. So, I got stuck into it, and I came to the conclusion that there were various penalties applied to characters at level 95 plus, and they were different at every level. There wasn't just a set penalty, it was individual penalties at each level, and this comes as no surprise when you think about it, because in patch 3.1 and patch 2.4, GGG had done this exact same thing, applied penalties. Well, at first the penalties made no sense. I was trying to find some kind of pattern between them all, and eventually I had the idea of just, let's combine all the penalties and see what they spit out. And finally, it made sense. I have figured out exactly what GGG were trying to achieve. They nerfed experience just to make the numbers look nicer. No, that's not a joke. They actually nerfed the amount of experience you gain in order to make the numbers look a little more cleaner and even. And what makes this further crazy and ridiculous is that you still need an EXP calculator to work out how much damn experience you're getting. But I'm going to go through what I discovered. So basically, when you were previously at level 95, you were getting an EXP penalty of 14.64%, or in other words, whatever experience you were gaining, you were only gaining 85.36% of that, before then considering the area or monster level penalty that is applied completely separately to what you're seeing on the screen here. Continue on with this, and the penalty drops, or rises to 52.38%. Well, the new penalties, they're a lot easier to understand. You see, the EXP penalty now starts at 15% and it goes up by 11.25% all the way to a nice and clean 60.00%. That's right, they just nerfed our experience to make numbers a little nicer on their end. Now, I was starting to feel like a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, and I knew you guys would probably call me as much as well, so I decided to do some digging to see if there was any other person on the planet who could back up this discovery, and turns out there was. Around 100 days ago, some guy on Reddit also found that there was an Ninja for EXP. Now, he only noticed it for level 99. I did some extensive testing today to make sure it only affects level 95 plus characters, and when you look at the numbers here, that makes sense. But yeah, this isn't something I'm making up. This isn't some crackpot theory. I confirmed all of this in-game, and some other guy noticed this over 100 days ago, which means we've probably been playing on around 2 patches worth of this nerf. This nerf isn't brand new. It's just not been really discovered or talked about prior to now. So anyway, this is the information. I'm hoping to get in contact with someone from the wiki. If any of you guys know anyone in charge of the wiki or that does editing for the wiki, put them in contact with me. I'm going to put my Discord information in the description of the video. I would really like to get the Wikipedia updated with all of this new information, and I'm going to show you why now. Using the bad wiki here, sorry about that, but we're just going to have to make do. Okay, so this is the current formula being presented for experience. It doesn't have the new nerfs. So this part's outdated, but here's the more interesting thing. And this cost me like 2 to 3 hours alone because I just could not work out why my numbers didn't match up with what was on the wiki. So the wiki presents this table, and it says that your experience multiplier for a tier 15 map at level 99 should be around 4% experience. And I couldn't work out why this was the case. None of my numbers seemed to indicate that 4% was correct. None of my testing in-game indicated that 4% was correct. How is the wiki presenting this 4% number? Well, turns out, not only was the Wikipedia outdated from the recent nerfs, it was outdated since before 3.1 nerfs. It doesn't even include the latest, the second round of level 95 plus nerfs. I believe this is just including the first set of nerfs from patch 2.4. So this part of the wiki is extremely outdated and extremely misleading. Who knows how much of this Wikipedia entry is totally irrelevant at this point in time. I don't, but I really would like to have something done about it because I basically had to take a day off work to make sense of this shit, and I don't know why. There are a few 100,000 people within the community, maybe over 1 million, who knows? And I don't know how it's ended up falling on me to figure this stuff out. I mean, I don't mind doing it. I just can't believe no one's figured this out before. So, yeah, Wikipedia, don't follow it for now. I will try and get into contact with someone to fix this up, but this information is just hella outdated. So this is a little preview of tomorrow's video. I have to tidy this up. I may need to add a little bit of extra functionality to it, but I've created the first fully functioning calculator. When I say fully functioning, I mean it takes into consideration the 2.3 monster level nerfs. Now, most of you don't even know about this, but the game doesn't count monster level the way it appears in game. Monster level 83, or area level 83 rather, is considered area level 77.54 off the top of my head. Area level 84 is considered area level 77.7. So, a lot of you guys probably didn't know this, but yeah. And that has a bunch of weird interactions with the safe zone, and there are a whole bunch of other things to consider, such as all of the new EXP penalties applied above level 95, etc. But I built a calculator that takes literally everything into consideration. It even manually calculates the safe zone stuff for between levels 65 to 86, and then, yeah, look, there's a lot to cover here. I'll do it in tomorrow's video, but yeah, as you can see, if we take a level 99 character and we plug in a tier 16, we get an EXP rate of 2.55. That is fully up-to-date information that you probably can't get anywhere else right now. As I mentioned, EXP calculator, that video is coming tomorrow. If you found this video helpful, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.